MTG Man, the Snip Danieli here, back for the final round. In this sealed, we have one die roll and we're going to draw first. And this hand is fine, it's pretty much slow enough. We have all our colors. We have a good blocker, and if need, we can also attack with it to trigger the raid ability of the War Shrieker if you draw a morph or something similar. After about 8 minutes, our opponent is back. He kept his hand. We're gonna keep ours as well. And we're off to the game. This could come back and haunt him because the games might just be very slow. And if you go to game 3, you might not have enough time. But we continue as planned. We're gonna play the Mentor and see where we go from there. I might just play the War Shrieker, um, even with nothing else. A Mardu Charm. That isn't very interesting. Um, and I don't have or need the mana here for anything. So yeah, let's just play the War Shrieker and pass the turn. The important thing to remember about cards is you can just use them for their face value, both in Morph and Raid guys. For example, what we did last game with the 2-2 Flyer. It was important to just make sure that um, if you need to play it on turn 2 on curve and you're not going to be able to use it properly in the future, just play it as a 2-2 guy. There's no reason to do anything else. So here we're going to attack and then play a bear. And we should be winning this race right now, especially with the 2 blue cards that we have. And Temur Charm could also work pretty well with killing a Skullkin. So no blocks. And let's see what he does here. Okay, so we killed the token and he tapped our 3/3. So here we have 2 options. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my guy a 3/3, kill one of his Skullkins, and attack. And the reason is because we have the 2 blue cards, um, I want to, we will be able to race, and this is a good point to attack him and to play the card, because he won't be able to sacrifice his Skullkin in response. And basically, he can just sacrifice the Skullkin, kill my guy, and basically just counter. So that's not a very good plan. So I'm gonna take 2 here, which is fine. I'm not too worried about that. And we'll see what else he does. If he does anything impressive, like a 6/4, um, I'm just gonna force away that, or no, actually, I'm just gonna crippling chill it for now. Play a morph. If he wants to sacrifice his Skullkin for that, um, I'm fine with that. And this way we have enough mana to actually unmorph and bounce. But it's okay, so he used a Bringlow to kill my guy, which is fine. So here I'm going to attack. Play a Hooting Mandrills. And I'm going to keep up 3 mana so I can Cripple and Chill again. Okay. Sure, my cards are exiled. Let's Crippling Chill. In this turn, I am going to untap and attack with both. And I'm going to leave up Force Away. Okay, it's 2 morph is fine. That was an interesting draw. So, we will untap and attack. Okay, and let's see what he does here. Okay, so I'm going to block. Sure, let's say we do this. Let's see if he does anything before damage. He does not. So let's bounce his guy. This way he can't unmorph and play the guy again. So this is can't block. So here I'm going to cast this face down. And we have enough mana to loot and to bounce. So we'll pass a turn. And we could also unmorph if we need to. So that creature can't block this turn. So let's block like this. See if he does anything. He does not. So let's bounce his guy. Yes, I would. Does he flip his morph? He does not. And which of his guys does he play first? None of them. Interesting. I guess he's afraid of a counter. That was pretty good. So do I just kill him here? So he has two cards, I know both of them. He has four cards, sorry, I know two of them. So I think I'm fine here with just attacking for two. And then next turn I can kill him. Um, well, I'm gonna unmorph this. Untap this, sorry. So he has Mamadujin, which is a pretty good card. In that case, I'm going to cast this face down and pass the turn. So, for those of you who don't know, Thousand Winds basically says that when he is turned up, all tap creatures or all other tap creatures return to their hand. So basically, I just bounced uh, my morph because I was able to untap. Playing Treasure Cruise here isn't that impressive because I can bounce his guy and attack him for 8 damage right now, depending on how he blocks. If he attacks, I just kill him. Okay, so that worked out pretty much perfectly. So let's bounce his guy. Yes, I would. And I'm just going to show it. And for one red mana, there's not much that he can do. So he has a bunch of flyers. So we want this. We also want the long shot squad. I do need to remember about um, the 1000 wind. So I'm also going to bring in cancel. Sorry, sorts by color. Cards that aren't that good against him because he has very guys with a lot of toughness. So one Infinite Master can probably go out. What else do we probably not need here? War Shrieker doesn't seem that great against him. And one other card. Probably, actually, like probably Set Adrift. I don't think I have time for it here. So I'm gonna take out one plane for a forest. And let's see how this goes. So let's see if he's going to play first or draw first. With his deck, he probably wants to play, and he does. I'm going to keep this hand. This hand is pretty good. Oh, so he decided to draw first. Okay, so this just makes it that I'm gonna play this as a 2/2 flyer most likely. And just start bashing. Yes, that seems right. Again, I'm gonna have pretty much on curve spells, and I'm not sure exactly when I'll be able to untap, and this just brings in a lot more damage. That's fine. That was a good draw. Dig Through Time can really help me out here. So he's probably just not doing too much this turn. Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna bring up planes so I can play the high sentinels and pass the turn. If you draw mounted, that will be good. Morph is fine. No attacks, which is not surprising. So here I think I'm just gonna attack for 4, which basically means that I'm gonna put a target on that guy, make my guy 4/5, and bash. The next turn I can just cripple and chill as more for something else, or just keep up the Ice Feather Raven, depending on what he does here. So 4/4 lifelink. Okay. So what am I gonna do here? Um, I could just leave my guy back. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave the guy back. Um, Play a Mantis and pass a turn. If he attacks um, with the guide, I'm just not gonna block. Creature with 1/1 counter, you may untap them. Okay, so he's not gonna attack, which is great. So here I'm gonna put a counter on the flyer, on the Mantis, and then I'm gonna tap his Abzan Guide on his turn. And in that case, I can attack with both. This is 9 damage. So this is a 2-turn clock. And we're gonna have a regenerator next turn. So he's gonna need something here. We fade. Okay, so he drew 2 cards. So here I'm gonna play this as regular. If I untap, that's 3, so basically that's 12 damage, right? That's 5, that's 4. Um, I can probably just, I think I don't need to put a counter on the Kent Tree Warden. I'd probably just rather dig through time. Would I have enough mana for that? So that's 2 to regenerate, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's not enough. So I could probably just put a counter and keep the regenerate mana. So his guy still doesn't untap. And worst comes to worst, we can always untap our guy and block both 2 creatures. Which I might just do. That sounds like a valid option. So let's see what he does. If he makes some guy unable to block or something like that, then I can untap the flyer. But I just okay. Um, So that's 6, 7, 8. So how much mana do we have here? We have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I don't have any one mana cost spell that can work for this. Um, okay, you got me. Okay, so sideboarding. Now we know that he has that. I'm going to put in Stubborn now. And I'm going to put that instead of probably the probably the long shot swap. Okay, let's see how this goes. So he has quite a few good bombs. But so do we. So we'll see how that goes. We are going to draw first, and we're going to keep this hand. This hand is pretty good. We have all the colors except white. But we don't have 2 drops, so I'm going to play this first, and then I'm going to play the Tri-land. And that brings in basically just 1 more damage. So here I'm going to attack and then play a morph. No reason to play the blocker. There's nothing to block. And I'd rather use my mana more efficiently right now. Skulkin is fine. Okay, so I think I just attack with the morph. If he wants to trade, that's fine with me. He does not. Not too surprising. And we'll play the Mentor. The next turn we can play the Dragon Claw. Or just unmorph and kill his guy. No blocks. So here I'm gonna attack with both my guys. Sure. And I'm gonna pass a turn. He didn't do anything on his turn, which is a little frightening. But we'll see. We'll see if he does anything. And if it's better than a 6/6. I think I'm just gonna unmorph. I think that's good enough right now. Especially if it's on his turn. So let's attack with both guys again. And I don't have white. And I'd rather play the 6/6 than a morph. Even though the morph means that I can loot, but still. So I think he's missing white here. 6/4 is fine. Yeah, 6-4 is fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna play a 6-6 right now. That was an excellent draw. So it's a 6-4, so we'll make it a 7-7. So this guy fights this guy, and that's 10 damage. And that's enough. So we won the sealed. Um, the deck itself was fine. I don't think it was great. Um, we had some tight plays, and I think that the main thing here was that we built a deck to be in the draw and not to try to be aggressive and to take control of the early game and just have superiority over the late game. Which we had a few games here, which I think that you were able to see where it happened. Let me know in the comments if you think I made any mistakes. I probably did. And let me know if you want me to do any more of these. See you next time from MTG Madness, Neve Danieli. Have a good day.